Hey guys, what's going on? It is Voodoo here, and welcome back in sorts. This video is gonna be kind of, I would say kind of a random video I'm doing, kind of maybe a surprising video or whatever, but I just want to let everybody know that I am basically gonna be rescinding my ban and what I said on my last video I made about particular person, DSP in particular. I am going to be taking back that video that I said that I would no longer be making DSP videos. I'm basically making a return to that arena because not only am I going to be talking about DSP in the future, I'm going to be talking about a lot of other things and people. And basically, it's going to start here today. And the reason that I'm kind of re-entering this arena and the reason that I'm kind of worked up today and making a video is I'm going to be responding to the whole hashtag DSPositive movement or whatever. And in particular, someone's video that I saw who made a video about DSPositive, who basically called myself out by names. The first person I've seen who actually does that. He called out a few people personally by name and tries to basically find contradictions in what we say and basically try to talk about how, just basically discredit us and discredit what we have to say. And so I'm going to respond to it. Why? Because if you call me out by name, then guess what? I'm going to defend myself and respond to you. So the name of the user who uploaded this video is by the name of Ralph Jaguar1. The title of the video, I don't remember the exact title, but it's something along the lines of DSP, the King of Hate, is really misunderstood or something like that in all caps for some reason. But anyway, this guy makes a 45-minute video, like I said, basically defending DSP, which, good for him, that's his right to do. And then he goes on to basically call out by name myself and a bunch of the other people that have made anti-DSP videos, I guess you could say. Like myself, Mr. Ludacris, OmniSlash, a couple people I honestly actually haven't heard of. SD Gaming, never heard of her, but he calls her out. The Kojima World Order channel. And basically tries to find and discredit these people. Now, specifically what he had to say about me was a pretty weak attempt. It was pretty lame, actually. First of all, he makes a disclaimer and says that he watched all the videos of all these people, including myself, who made these videos, and he watched all of them and all this other stuff. And so, basically, I've made a lot of videos talking about DSP in the past. A lot of minutes and hours of content there. And basically, out of all of that, this is the one thing that he got out of that to try to, discredit me and hate on me, I guess, for. He says that, he goes back to my video I made 2 years ago in 2011 where I, defended DSP. And I said stuff in that video like, that I understood and kind of thought it was funny how, he would blame the game and the developers and the controls and I understood that he's just doing what a bunch of other gamers do and all this other kind of stuff. And then basically he takes that and then he goes 2 years later to this year when I made my my big video about why I unsubscribed, and basically says that I'm a hypocrite and I contradict myself because in that video I said that I didn't like the way that he blames games and I thought that he was an awful gamer and I thought, that he acts like a child when he plays games. And so, basically his whole point was, I should be discredited because I'm a hypocrite. I contradicted myself because I went back on something I said 2 years ago, and therefore you shouldn't watch me. And that's all he's got on me. That's all he calls me out on. After all the stuff that I made, all the stuff I said, that's what he comes up with. Keep in mind, he didn't actually try to contradict any of the points I made in any of those videos. He didn't actually try to, make a logical argument as to why I was incorrect or why, he doesn't agree with what I have to say. He doesn't do any of that. He just says, you shouldn't listen to him because he's a hypocrite because, you know, and he makes it seem like he just can't wrap his brain around the fact that, you know, I said something different 2 years later than I did 2 years ago. Well, let me educate you a little bit, Mr. Jaguar. First of all, as I mentioned, the first video I made defending Phil was 2 years ago. It was in 2011, alright? It's not like I made that video 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, you know, a few months ago. No, 2 years ago I made that video, alright? So basically, according to Ralph Jaguar's view of life, you are never allowed in any amount of time to change your mind or change your opinion about anything. If you change your mind about anything, it doesn't matter how long it is. If you hold a belief in your head that you believe in when you're 5 years old, you better have that same belief when you're 60 years old, and your views can't change on it. Because if you do, you're a hypocrite and no one should listen to you and you're full of crap. That's apparently this guy's frame of reference. So, you know, according to Ralph Jaguar, everybody, we're not allowed to change our minds. We're not allowed to have different opinions. You know, I'm not allowed to change what I think in a course of 2 years after I've done a lot of growing up. I've experienced so much on YouTube and gaming. I'm not allowed to change my mind. I'm just not allowed to. Second of all, clearly, he claims he watched all my videos. Obviously, he did not, because he somehow completely missed the video that I made back in, I believe it was March of this year, which was kind of a transitional video. In that video, I didn't put DSP on blast in that video. I didn't diss the hell out of him or anything else. I said it was my honest thoughts on DSP 2 years later, and I started to criticize him. In that video, I still said that I watched him, I had respect for what he did and everything like that, but I did start to criticize him and call him out on some stuff that I didn't like. And then I said in that video, you know, if he keeps acting this way and doesn't change, then I'm going to unsubscribe from him and not watch him. So then the video I made in July was a response to that video, and I said, well, you know what? He hasn't changed anything since that last video I made in March, so I'm unsubscribing from him. That was one of the points that Ralph tried to bring up in this video. He said, oh, you know, he says in his video, you know, this year that I made, he says in the video that, oh, Darkside Phil is still doing all the same stuff he was doing, blaming the game, treating his fans bad, but 2 years ago in 2011 he said he was okay with that, so how can he say now, oh, he's still doing all this stuff when he was fine with it before? Well, you didn't watch all my videos, and you don't understand what I was doing. I said in that video he's still doing the same stuff that I didn't like in March of this year. I wasn't talking about 2 years ago in 2011, dude. I was talking about this year. In March, I made a video saying that if he continued to act the way he was acting, I was gonna unsubscribe to him. He continued to act that way. So in the video I made in July, I said he's still acting the way he was acting in March, so I'm gonna unsubscribe from him. Not the way he was acting 2 years ago in 2011. All right. So, way to go there, being uninformed. If you're going to come out and call somebody out, have your facts straight, know what you're talking about. This guy obviously does not, and, you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of the deal. He calls me a hypocrite because I changed my, you know, I'm not allowed to change my mind. There was a lot of things that I believed and thought, and, you know, held fast to 2 years ago in 2011, you know, and not just in gaming or YouTube, but politically, religiously, socially, all these kind of things that I held in my mind 2 years ago in 2011, and now, you know, 2.5 years later, a lot of those things have changed. You want to know why? Because I'm still growing. I was 18, almost 19 in 2011 when I made that video. I'm now 21 years old. I was a freshman in college. I had just started watching DSP gaming. A few months prior to that video, I had really just kind of gotten into hardcore gaming at that point. I didn't understand a lot of what was going on, and you know what, back then, along with a lot of other people, I thought it was kind of funny, how he would rage and stuff like that. But you know what, after watching his content for 2+ years and seeing how it's basically degraded into him acting like a whiny, petulant child at every game he plays and loses at, and how he treats people, how he talks to people, how his brain functions. Yeah, I've learned a lot about DSP in the 2+ years that I've been following him since 2011, and it's changed my mind. I'm allowed to do that. So, Ralph Jaguar, you know what? If you hold any views right now that you didn't hold 2 years ago, or you changed your mind about anything from 2, 3, 4 years ago, then you're a hypocrite based on your own, view of the world, and that makes you a hypocrite. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to have an opinion, especially when I make videos backing up what I say with facts, with evidence, and with logical arguments. I'm allowed to do that because I'm a human being, and I'm not a full-grown adult yet. You know what I mean? And even if I was, you can change your mind on things. You can change your views. You can learn a lot about somebody in 2 years. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's just, I mean, you can think one way about, I don't know. It's stupid. It's a ridiculous argument to make. Oh, you changed your mind from something you said 2 years ago, so you're a hypocrite and you have no credibility. It's just absolutely, it's insane. Like people who get married, they think they're so in love with each other, they think they know something about the other person, and then two years later they get a divorce. That doesn't make them a hypocrite. It means things change. It means perspectives change. It means things happen. 2 years is a long-ass time. So to sit there and say that I have no credibility because I changed my mind something 2 years ago and made logical reasons as to why, that makes me a hypocrite? No, sorry, that's not the way it works. I'm allowed to change my mind. And yeah, so that's basically that on Ralph Jaguar. Really weak argument, made absolutely no sense to me, and it was, again, he didn't challenge anything I actually said. It really, in this whole video, it's a 45-minute video, he really doesn't challenge any points that anyone actually makes. And that's what I've been finding. That's kind of the overall point of this video, is when I watch these DSP positive videos, I've watched a few of them now, people don't actually, these fans of DSP, they don't actually try to address any of the points that any of us critics raise. They don't address any of it. Instead, what they do is they attack us, they attack our character. Okay? They talk about that we have these ulterior motives that somehow they know about. Somehow they're psychic and they know the reason why I make my videos and the reason that OmniSlash or Mr. Ludacris or whatever makes their videos. They know this somehow. It's amazing to me that they're psychic and they know exactly what's going on in our heads and why we're making these videos. And that's really what they try to do. Instead of addressing the points that we make and bring forward, they just try to attack us and discredit us and try to brainwash people into thinking that we're, these hateful people that have nothing better to do with our lives and our time than just to make hate videos, and we're just jumping on it to get money. Alright? I mean, it's insane. And you don't do yourself any favors if you're going to come out and not actually address any points that we make. And the reason that they don't is because they know that they're wrong. They know that DSP is wrong with the stuff that he says. They know he's out of line. They know he acts like an asshole. And they know that there's not really anything they can say in his defense. Because, they're somewhat intelligent people. They know they really know what's going on here. They know that the points we raise are good, valid points. And you know how I love this. This is how they write off all the points that we make, right? Is because in DSP's Addressing the Negativity video, he talked about how people like me, we take a little grain of truth and then we expand upon a little grain and expand upon it. And the fans of DSP take this idea and they have just gone nuts with it. You want to talk about actually taking a grain of something and expanding on it? That's what these DSP fans are doing. That's how they try to explain away all the points, all the logical arguments that people like myself make. They discredit it and say, oh, well, they're doing exactly what DSP said. They're taking a little grain of truth and expanding upon it. Okay, how? How are we doing that? How are we able to make videos, as long as we're able to make them, about so many different topics, brings up factual evidence, things that he came out of his own mouth or out of his own Twitter account, use it against them, alright? And how are we able to do all this if we're just taking a grain of truth? You know what I mean? It's like, explain that to me. You can't just say that. You can't just say, oh, well, they're just taking a grain of truth. How? Explain to me how I'm giving you wrong information. How am I giving you stuff that didn't happen when I take words that he said, tweets that he wrote? Okay? Explain to me how that's incorrect, how that's just a grain of truth. No, everything I say in my videos is truth regarding him. And the things, all the evidence that I use in my videos are truth. I give you my opinion, but I use truthful, factual evidence from DSP. I don't change anything. All the evidence that I use is in public record. You can find it for yourself. It's in his videos. He has no shame. He doesn't take down any of the videos that he says. Actually, that's not true at all. He does, but people are able to rip it and re-upload it. But, so, you know, I mean, explain that to me. You can't explain it. And so that's why you say the things that you do. That's why you try to discredit us. And I'm not just talking about Ralph Jaguar. I'm talking about all the people really that I've seen making videos. I haven't seen really one that does a very good job of actually giving counterpoints to our arguments. They don't. They just try to attack us, discredit us, and talk about how, you know, they discredit our arguments by saying it's a grain of truth. But they don't actually explain that or give us any reason why you shouldn't believe things that I say, or Mr. Ludacris, or whatever the case may be. So, time check. So, yeah, that's, I mean, that's all I have to say about it. You know, I mean, Ralph Jaguar tries to bring up a couple of things in this video. He talks about, and this just boils my blood. He talks about basically the whole controversy that happened on the Kingdom Hearts stream, which if you know anything about DSP, you know what happened, to where he was playing Kingdom Hearts on a stream, and of course Panda Lee and all her annoyingness, just shit-stirring self, she does this constantly. She was, of course, on the stream, completely ignoring what was going on with the game, undermining her boyfriend, what he was trying to do, and posted a comment saying something along the lines of, Kingdom Hearts sucks, or Kingdom Hearts is boring, and all the fanboys can cry in a bucket or something so I can moisturize my body or something. First of all, sometimes I question if she's even from this planet, how strange she is. So who the fuck says that, first of all? But then, of course, what happened was all the fans of Kingdom Hearts on the stream took offense to that and answered back to her and weren't very pleasant. And, of course, what happened? DSP flipped his shit, blamed everybody else but his girlfriend, and banned the whole chat, alright? And he brings this up, and what sickens me and boils my blood is that he actually tries to defend Panda Lee and DSP. And I know that I haven't really talked about Panda Lee that much. I mentioned her once in that video, Why I Unsubscribed video. And believe me, there may be a video coming in the future where I talk solely about Panda Lee, because I have plenty to say about her. But, you know, so he's trying to defend them and saying, oh, well, Panda Lee said this game was boring. First of all, he vastly changes what Panda Lee actually said and tries to make it way less ridiculous than it really was. He says she said something just along the lines of, Kingdom Hearts is boring. That's all he says that she said, which of course is not true. He left out the whole point about telling fanboys to go cry in a bucket so she could moisturize herself, or whatever the fuck she said. He completely leaves that point out. And then he says, so she says Kingdom Hearts is boring, somebody else tells her to shut the fuck up. And then he says, well, you know, how would you react if somebody told you that? You'd want to defend yourself and everything. So I defend Panda Lee because she was just defending herself, and Phil should have blocked all those people. By the way, I'm talking about Ralph Jaguar's video. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is the stuff that he's saying in his video. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I mean, this is unreal to me that somebody would defend. First of all, Panda Lee's an attention whore. You can say what you want. I mean, all you have to do is watch a single video with her in it. She cannot help herself. She has to make a scene out of herself on every video. She can't help it. She really can't. If she's not the center of attention, then the whole world's in trouble right there, because she has to be. That's why we can't go a whole video with her in it where she doesn't make some strange noise or start doing some kind of weird dance or talking in that little 5-year-old voice or doing whatever. She's an attention whore. She loves attention. She loves to stir shit up. She loves controversy and drama. That's what she is. That's what she embodies, okay? So, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about, you know, what's a good analogy I could use, basically, for what Panda Lee did in the Kingdom Hearts stream that would kind of wake people up and make them understand just how insane and ridiculous what she did was, and the fact that people are defending her. And I thought about it, and I came up with what I think is a pretty good analogy to what she did. So let me try to explain this. First of all, let's start off by saying he's playing Kingdom Hearts, alright? We all know that Kingdom Hearts, it has an enormous fan base, alright? I've never played the series, so I don't know. But two of my best friends that I actually live with are also very big Kingdom Hearts fans. They love the series, they love the story, the gameplay, they love all of it. And Kingdom Hearts has a huge fan base, alright? You know this. And obviously Phil knows this, and obviously anybody involved in games knows that Kingdom Hearts is one of those classic series that has a huge fan base and people love the game. So, Phil's playing Kingdom Hearts on stream. There's a lot of people watching him in the stream. And you would have to figure that the majority of the people on that stream are probably fans of Kingdom Hearts, okay? Because if you don't like Kingdom Hearts, whatever, you're probably not going to go to a stream and watch it. So the people in that room are probably fans of Kingdom Hearts. And basically, based off the assumption that I haven't really heard almost anyone say anything negative about Kingdom Hearts, I think the general consensus is most people who play Kingdom Hearts like it. So the room is probably full of people who like Kingdom Hearts, and they're there watching Phil play Kingdom Hearts. So what did Panda Lee really think was going to happen when she came into that stream and talked shit about Kingdom Hearts? Well, she knew exactly what was going to happen, and she got exactly what she wanted. She was going to piss people off who were going to respond to her, and then her knight in shining armor Phil was going to come through and ban all these people. So let me talk you through the analogy I came up with. What she did was basically like this. Say there is a band, alright, and they are, sorry, just look like someone said something on my sweatshirt. There's a band, alright, and this band is a Beatles cover band. That's what they do. They cover songs from the Beatles. Obviously, classic musical group, huge following for the Beatles, alright? And the band is doing a concert. They're doing a live concert where they're performing covers of Beatles songs. So obviously the people who are at this concert are probably fans of the Beatles, alright? They're there, they like the Beatles music, and they want to go hear this band cover songs from the Beatles. So they're at this concert, the band comes out, and they start playing Beatles songs, right? And everybody's happy and they're enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, halfway through, just in the middle of a song, the girlfriend of the lead singer of the band walks out on stage, takes the microphone away from her boyfriend, who's the lead singer of this band, takes the microphone, looks at the crowd, and goes, "The Beatles suck. And all of you in here who like the Beatles can go cry me, can go put your tears in a bucket so that I can go moisturize my body." Puts the microphone down, walks off the stage. Now what the hell do you think is going to happen, okay? First of all, the first thing that might happen is that they probably might call the police or the mental health center to come take her away because she sounds like a crazy person because she's talking about how she's going to be moisturizing her body with tears, and most normal functioning people don't say weird shit like that. So that might be the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is that the people in the crowd are going to be pissed off. They're going to say, "Who the fuck is this who came out on stage, completely interrupted what we were doing, completely interrupted this band who's performing music from a band that we really like. We're here listening to it. Who the fuck is this who comes up on stage and is going to sit there and look at all of us and say the Beatles suck, and, basically that we're a bunch of fanboys of the Beatles and that we're going to go cry because you don't like the Beatles. Who the fuck is this, right?" Then on top of that, they know that that person was the girlfriend of the lead singer. So they're going to be like, they're going to look at each other, they're going to look at the band, they're going to look at the lead singer and be like, "Yo, what the hell, what is with your girlfriend? Like, why would your girlfriend, who's supposed to support you, even if she doesn't like the Beatles, why the hell is she coming out on stage interrupting everything that's going on just to tell us that the Beatles suck? What the hell's wrong with your girlfriend," right? Then, if you think that's crazy enough, then the lead singer takes the microphone back and says, "No, you're all wrong for being pissed at her for what she just did. Get the fuck out of the concert hall. I'm kicking you all out." Because that's exactly what happened in that stream, and that's exactly how, do you understand now how fucking ridiculous that sounds? Because that's basically exactly what happened. DSP, the band, was basically playing a cover or playing the game Kingdom Hearts, like the band's covering the Beatles, that everybody likes. People are there in the concert who like the Beatles, in the stream who like Kingdom Hearts. They're enjoying it, stuff's going well. All of a sudden, the lead person who's putting all this stuff on, their girlfriend comes in and insults everybody who's in the stream or concert, in my analogy, and calls them all fanboys and they can go cry in a river. And then DSP / the lead singer of the Beatles band defends her and kicks everybody else out. It's insanity to me. She is an attention whore. This is what she does. Like, I don't understand how people don't get that. This is what she does. And Ralph Jaguar, you want to stick up for her and all, that's great for you. But you can do a poll of people who are still loyal fans of DSP, who still watch DSP and love his stuff or whatever. Take a poll of them, because you're going to find that I would say at least half, probably more, but I'm going to be conservative here, and say half of them at least can't stand Panda Lee, even though they're fans of Phil. Why? Because she's an attention whore. Because every time she's involved, the only thing she's concerned about is getting attention for herself. She doesn't even care that she's hurting her boyfriend. Do you really think that people who are in that stream, maybe people who are on Twitch, they don't know who DSP is, they like Kingdom Hearts, they were looking for streams, and all of a sudden they stumble across Phil's stream and they're playing, and all of a sudden this mod, who they don't even have to know it's his girlfriend, but this mod comes in and starts talking shit about Kingdom Hearts, and she's a moderator of the stream. Do you really think people who are fans of Kingdom Hearts are going to come back and watch this dude play? No. Like, why would they? So she doesn't even care. She doesn't even care if she's hurting her boyfriend's fan base. And forget fan base, how about living? How about a way of putting food on his table, and a way of taking her on all these fancy trips and, you know, making her feel like a queen and taking her all over the fucking globe? How do you think he gets that money? From people who watch his stream, and you're going to go in there and undermine him and undercut him and piss off his fan base and kick them all out of the stream? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? I mean, these two people are perfect for one another. DSP and Panda Lee are perfect for one another. Neither of them make sense. What they do is just absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that there are people out there who will defend this kind of stuff and will say that this is okay and that Panda Lee and DSP were right in this situation. I mean, just think about the analogy I just made about the Beatles band. Does that sound like it makes sense to you? Ralph Jaguar 1, does that make sense to you? If you were a fan at that concert, would that make a whole lot of sense for you, for somebody to come out on stage and diss you and diss the music that you're listening to, and then for the lead singer of the band that you're there to support kicks you out of the fucking concert? Would you walk out of there thinking, man, that made a lot of sense, that, you know, that's a good band, I'm going to come back tomorrow? Would you? Or would you think, what the hell did I just see? That is a dysfunctional, weird situation going on. I'm going to go find another Beatles cover band. Because that's what I would do. So, I mean, it's just insane. And this is why, you know, I don't know. I'm going to cut the video here and do a little jump cut and be back so my video doesn't run out of time. And then I'll finish this video and wrap it up. So, hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, a little jump cut there. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, it's just the kind of stuff that these two do, and then the fact that there's people out there who actually support this, who defend these people, that's what gets me all worked up. And people ask me, you know, all the time, well, why does it bother you so much? You know, that what DSP doesn't affect you, and it doesn't have any bearing on you and what you do on your channel, so why bother? And you know what? You're right about that. In the long term, it's not going to have any effect on me. What he does is what he does. It's not going to affect my channel. And I could just choose to ignore it. But that's not how I'm built. Because, to me, it speaks to a bigger issue. The fact that there's just people out there who will accept this kind of bullshit. There's people out there who will defend this kind of stuff. It makes me sad inside for just people in general. That people can't understand, people can't look through the nonsense and bullshit and understand what's really going on. I mean, it's not that hard. I don't understand how anybody could defend these two, especially in that situation. and how they just don't. I don't understand. It makes me sad for people. It really does, because people don't deserve to be treated the way that they're treated on that channel. And it makes me kind of sad for the fans because they're okay with that. And, you know, I mean, if you're okay with that, you're not a fan of it, that's your own business. I'm not going to tell you how to live or who to watch or whatever, but I think if you're going to watch stuff on YouTube, you know, you shouldn't be relegated to having to deal with that and being treated that way. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? If you're fine with that and you don't find any fault with that, okay. I mean, you know, that's your business. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. I just can't, I can't wrap my head around the way that they act. The way that, I don't understand how DSP is dating her. I mean, can you imagine that if that was my job and my girlfriend was going to come in and do that, I'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why would I want to be with somebody who's going to piss off the people who are making me money? You know? It's like, again, another analogy, it's like if I'm working in a company and all of a sudden my girlfriend, for some odd reason, walks into the company and goes to my boss and says, I don't like the work you do here, and I don't like the product that you're making. Fuck you, and, you know, peace out. Like, just blatantly insulting the people who basically write your check. And again, I understand that his viewers don't literally write his check and send him money, but you understand my point. His viewership is what ultimately does lead to his check. His check is solely based off of viewership. And no, we don't pay for it. He gets paid by machinima and whatever. I understand that. But you get my point. We're the people who indirectly, more or less, pay his bills. Because without us, he wouldn't get paid. So, the fact that someone who's supposed to love him and supposed to support him and be his life partner at this time is going to completely go on and piss all the people off who give him his money. It's the most unprofessional. Let me just say this. It's the most unprofessional thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. I don't claim to be a professional on this channel because I don't do this for money. I don't do it for a living. I do it for fun and a hobby. I'm in school. I'm going to pharmacy school to be a pharmacist, and that's how I'm going to make my living. I don't make my living based on YouTube. I do it as a hobby. I do it for fun. So I don't claim to be a professional. But this dude is doing it for money. This is his job. You know what I mean? Like, he always talks about it's his business, which it makes me laugh because he plays fucking games on the internet, but it's his business, okay? So, you know, and he has these professional business cards and this shit. And then this kind of stuff happens. It's like, how unprofessional can you be? I would think that, you know, if I was doing that for a job, I wouldn't even involve my girlfriend in it because it's not professional. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Now, if my girlfriend was going to act professional and she was going to treat it like my business and she was going to be respectful and she was going to be a mature person, okay, fine. People enjoyed her being on the thing, like John Rambo, okay? John Rambo, everybody loves John Rambo. Everybody just does. I've never seen a video, I've never seen one thing talking bad about John Rambo. Everybody loves him, okay? And they love when he does commentary with Phil. I love John Rambo. I think he's a great dude. I think he's hilarious. And I think he's a genuinely nice guy. But when John does gameplay with Phil, he's professional. He doesn't sit... Have you ever seen John Rambo play a game with Phil and during the streams and shit start insulting people on streams and start pissing people off on, like, Phil's own viewership? Like, have you ever seen John do that? Let me think about that. Because I certainly don't ever remember him doing that. Why? Because John understands. Phil's his friend. This is his business. So John acts professional when he's on there. He doesn't even really involve himself with the fans. He lets Phil take care of that. All he's there for is to play the game, have fun, and be entertaining. That's what John does. So I understand why John's there. But Panda Lee? Like, how unprofessional can you be where you're playing a game, you're getting paid for it, and you let your girlfriend come in there and stir shit and talk the shit that just constantly spews out of her mouth? It's nuts to me. It makes no sense at all. How in the hell can you call yourself professional if that's what's going to go on your content? I mean, that's a joke, dude. That's a flat-out joke. So, the fact that people are defending this, the fact that somebody like Ralph Jaguar, he's going to defend this, and then he's going to try to come out here and call me out, and he's going to call out Mr. Ludacris and Omni Slash and these other people. It's just, it's crazy to me. I respect the guy. He can say what he wants. I fully espouse that. I can say what I want on my channel. He can say what he wants on his channel. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And it doesn't mean I can't call it out. Because he called me out first, so I'm returning fire. I don't understand you. I don't get where you're coming from. And it makes no sense to me. So, if this guy wants to have a conversation with me, please, please do it. If you actually want to refute points that I make, actual valid points that come out of my mouth, please do so. Because so far you haven't done it. And really, none of the people who have made DS positive videos have done it as far as I can tell. If there's a video out there that's DS positive and it actually does a good job, or at least makes an attempt to address some of the points that people like myself and others make in these videos, please direct me to it, because I would be more than happy to hear what they have to say and then immediately rebut it and I'm sure take it down. But regardless, I haven't seen a video like that. So until I see one, this DS positive movement has no credibility to me whatsoever, because they don't make any points. All they do is attack each of us personally, which doesn't accomplish anything. It just shows that you're weak. It shows that you don't have any response to what we have to say, and it is what it is. So last point I want to make here before we head out. 5 minutes left on my battery. So last point, I am going to be making these videos, and they're not, I make them about DSP a lot because he's really the only person over the past few years that I've watched and I know a lot about him and can make videos. I don't really watch any other YouTubers, so I can't really comment on what they do. But I will be making videos not just about Phil, not just about Panda Lee, but about issues as well. That's kind of what my whole Voodoo Thoughts was supposed to be. And I said, you know what? I said I didn't want my channel to be about DSP and being part of a hate community or whatever. And you know what? I was thinking about it wrong. I want my channel to be associated with free speech, with the ability to say whatever the hell you want to say and to not have any fear of it. And that's what this channel is going to stand for. I know I'm going back on my word, so you can kill me and crucify me for that. I understand that, but you know what? I went back on it because I changed my mind. I said, you know what? I shouldn't have to stop making videos. I shouldn't have to stop saying what I want to say. This is what I want to say. I'm going to say it. You can call me what you want, but this is my true talk on this channel. This is my true feelings, and I'm not going to stop saying that for anything or anybody, because that's what I want my channel to stand for. If it becomes part of a DSP hate community, so be it. If you want to associate me with whatever, so be it. You want to say I'm doing it for money, so be it. I don't care anymore. I do this for me. I do this for you. I put what I feel out there on the line. I've done it for years. I'll keep doing it, and nobody's going to really stop me from doing it. So thanks for watching. That's what makes this channel different from all the other Let's Play channels out there, is that I don't just sit here and play video games. I tell you what I really feel. If I'm going to sit there and call out a video game for bullshit and say that it sucks, I should be able to sit here and call out people and say the same damn thing. I shouldn't have to filter myself. I shouldn't have to put a ban on what I say for other people. I should be able to say what the hell I want to say, and I'm going to do it. So thanks for watching. Say what you have to say in the comments. You're free to say whatever you want, and I'm going to be back soon. I'm going to have PlayStation 4 gameplay coming up soon, because I just bought a splitter that works. And once it gets here, I'm going to be doing some PS4 gameplay as well. So if you like gameplay, as well as my my opinion videos, cool, stick around, because there's all kinds of fun gameplay and stuff coming up. So thanks, guys. That's what I have to say, and peace out.